Okay, I'm so happy to be here with my good friend Clay Oliver at Oliver Farm. The sunflowers are blooming. There's still a few more, maybe a week, you think?
Yeah, maybe 7 more days.
About 7 more days to come see this beautiful sight of sunflower seeds. You may remember a few months ago, we had Clay and his beautiful wife, Valerie, up to Breadbecker's to do a cooking class with us to showcase their wonderful Georgia-grown sunflower seed oil, Benny seed oil, pumpkin seed oil, pecan seed oil, and we're just so happy to be here. Clay mentioned that the sunflowers bloom in June, and we were like, road trip, so we're here with my crew to see the sunflowers. We're so happy that you had us here today.
Good timing, yep.
Yep, so tell us a little bit about what we're looking at here, and how in the world did you decide to grow sunflowers?
Well, initially the idea to grow sunflowers came about for making biofuel. Fuel got high back in 2008 when the economy tanked, and I was like, wow, what can I do to offset fuel costs? So I was like, I'll grow sunflowers, crush them, and make biofuel.
Okay, whoa, stop right there. Okay, not just everybody goes, oh, I'm gonna make my own fuel. So I'm thinking about this all morning today, like, okay, gas prices are high. I'm not gonna go, oh, I'm just gonna make my own gasoline. That is crazy. What made you think that you could do that? Did you have some knowledge of it, or you just went, I think I can do something?
It's been done. I mean, you know, the first diesel motor was run off of vegetable oil.
Okay.
You know?
So you're like,
from the beginning it's been done, and you know, just hate the idea of being tied to petroleum producing countries who don't dislike us.
yes.
You know, and you know, we're just bound to these fossil fuels when we don't have to be, I think.
Yeah, that's
So I
amazing.
just was inquisitive about it. And, you know, the Lord, He just put some people in my path that, you know, it's like, hey, you should try this, look at this, meet this guy, and
Yeah,
just that's
I
how it
still think
works.
you're a genius. I think that's genius.
You
But
better ask Valerie about that.
we'll talk to Valerie later and get her perspective. But the Lord is good that He gives us the things that we need. But
Think about the seed. How neat. Each seed has some oil in it of some kind. Some of
Yes.
it's good, some of it's bad. Some of it'll kill you. You know, like if you eat apples, you don't eat the seed. That's where cyanide comes from.
Yeah.
So one time I was like, I'll find apple seed and make apple seed oil. And then I was like,
Well, maybe
might
not.
do that, you know? So just the whole cycle of it, I call it, that's the brains or the life of the seed is the oil.
It's the
'Cause if the
oil.
oil dries up, it's not going to germinate.
Right. Wow, that's good to know. And that's where the vitamin E is that I love to talk about the vitamin E. And sunflowers are one of the richest sources of vitamin E.
Right.
Next to grain. Wheat is one of the richest food sources, but sunflowers are right up there.
Sunflower oil is really high in vitamin E. We have a lot of customers who buy it just for soap and skincare products for that reason. Some of them want it, what I would call a little dirtier. They want the good stuff still left in it.
Yeah.
And so we're glad to provide that for them.
All right. Well, tell us about this field. You were just telling me. So the rain slowed something, or no rain, slowed some things down. So you had
We had a
blooming in stages now. So that's kind of good.
We had a pretty good start, you know, but right when we planted it kind of got dry, and some of the seeds came up initially, and some of them were 3, 4, 5, 7 days later. And up on this hill here, this clay gall, you can tell they're very immature compared to the other heads. The other flowers are, even some of them beginning to droop down. So the life cycle is really neat, and this is a good example of seeing how the rosette forms, where the heads, the flower's gonna form. It's totally green there. And then you have some starting to show the head and with the yellow inside. And then, say if you can come to what's the most mature one we got here. Like this one's pretty mature. Oh, Mr. B. And these are just petioles. These are the flowers to the sunflower. Thousands of little flowers make up the sunflower.
Oh, wow.
So the bee has to come and pollinate each one of these little flowers. And then underneath that is where your seeds are forming.
Oh, wow.
So they're already
Forming.
magical.
Yeah.
The Fibonacci sequence, I think it's how you say it, where the sunflower grows. It's really can't be imitated by man.
So when these are in full bloom like this, then how long before you can harvest the seed? How long before the seed will be mature?
From this point, it should be about 30 more days, 30 to 40 days, depending on, you know,
Yeah, the rain or
rain.
whatever.
You know, these obviously these are going to be a little staggered. Oh, see,
Yes.
there's a neat bee right there. See, all different kind of pollinators.
Oh, wow.
He might bite you back there.
Now, will the petals, or what do you call these again?
Petioles.
Petioles. Will they all fall off? Is that how you
Yes.
know when they're ready to harvest the seeds?
These are going to fall off in a few days. I'm trying to look around, see if maybe even down there would be some that are looking a little more weathered.
Okay.
And we can walk to some of them too. But these will fall off. This will mature on around, fill on out. Most of this will fall off, and then you'll have
The seeds
the seed.
underneath.
You'll see the black. Once you see the black in the head, they begin to protect itself by tilting their head down.
Oh, wow.
You know, that keeps the rain from getting in the seed and rotting them.
God's amazing creation.
Yes, and
Wow.
he provides for the sparrow, right? But he also gave them a chance by turning their neck down, and the birds got to work for it. So when we harvest them, you'll come along and certain plants you'll see on the ground. Oh, Mr. B. Underneath there'll be wads of seed where the birds have
Picked on that one.
And if
Yeah.
any head's left up, you know, like for whatever reason is genetically different, they'll eat all those.
So my dad used to say he planted enough for us, the deer, and the birds and everything.
Yep, you better.
But the
Deer
birds keep
really
getting
like them.
The deer really like them?
Oh, yes.
So how do you keep them out? Well, do you not want to answer that on that?
No, well, I mean, you know, for one, you have to control your population.
Yeah.
And then we have to know, like, you don't put the sunflowers in the middle of the back corner where the deer feel safer, you know.
Right.
Or, you know, and then some things, you know, since we don't spray chemicals on them, and, you know, sometimes insects are more prevalent than other years. So just like you said, just numbers, try to beat it by volume.
Yeah.
The birds sound good and tranquil and peaceful, but when a flock of blackbirds come in, that's like the death to the sunflower field.
Yeah. They love it.
Mm-hmm.
I bet. All right. Are we going to walk down in there?
Sure.
All right. Y'all coming, ladies?
Yeah.
This is so exciting. I've already learned so much. Because I grow sunflowers just for pretty,
Yeah,
for my flower
right.
decorations. Oh, wow. Just look at this.
You can't help but take pictures. You got to do a selfie. You got to pick some. So like there's an oddball. See that flower with the black head?
Real tall,
Uh-huh.
kind of sticking up. Yeah.
It's not one of, these are hybrid sunflowers that I buy for the oil. It's a high oleic oil that's in it. It's very shelf stable, very heart healthy. This oil has a 1 gram of saturated fat. Okay, that's lower than olive oil. If you're looking at saturated fat is something you need to watch. So very light oil, and it's very durable. We can fry with it. Stands up to high temps. But this one's a good example of one that's starting to fade. See how that head's almost completely,
Yeah.
I think if they'd have had rain, moving into this would be fully formed. And then these are gonna, you know, eventually,
Fall off.
they get dry.
That's amazing.
Neat plant. It's native to North America. The Native Americans grew it. Some people say they might have even grown it before corn domesticated the sunflower. They use this for dye.
Really,
Yeah.
the petals?
The yellow, yep. This gives you a yellow pigment.
We've come so far away from knowing that the whole plant can be
And
used
look,
for something. Oh,
so-
looks like a
So the inside is
milky.
it's like a cork, very spongy.
Yeah. Oh, spongy, yeah.
This is, you know, still growing, but when this plant's dry, this could be used like as a fire starter, you know, that's what they would have done.
Wow.
This inside material.
Yeah. Now, that head was bit off. Did
Somebody,
somebody or a deer?
these were sacrificed for somebody to enjoy on the table.
Ah,
That's okay. That's
Yeah.
why you got to have numbers.
yeah. Yeah.
People will come and they say, hey, can I pick a flower? I'm like, man, you can pick all you want. You probably haven't picked your wild flowers in a while, so.
Go ahead. Oh, that's so sweet. I love it. So, got to have enough for the deer, the birds, your wife, your a little bit of everybody. That's what I was wondering. How do you keep people from coming in and just cutting these? Because they're so beautiful.
Well,
A little off the road,
yeah.
so maybe.
They, and we have them right beside the road at years, and you come up
Yeah.
and, they can't hurt that many. They're not going to pick a truckload.
Yeah, because they're not as genius as you. They won't know what to do with it.
No, what I call them, picture poachers. They just come in and fall out here and get lost.
Yeah. Wow. So how many acres is this?
This field is, it's a dry land corner that really doesn't get watered. It's about 4.5 acres, I think.
And how many acres do you have total in planted?
We're going to have total, I think it's 110. We're putting some behind watermelons, so that's kind of when the seed run out, that's when I'll stop.
Okay.
A little different this year. We rotate our sunflowers around so that the soil diseases don't get in them. Just like any other crop, you got to rotate it.
Yeah.
And so this year they just fell in some smaller fields, and we have some bigger ones, but they're back in the woods and a little difficult to get to.
Yeah. So do you just do one planting, or will you be able to do a second planting here?
We've planted this, what was it, April 27th. We planted another planting June 16th, and then we'll have some probably planted around July, mid-July when the watermelons come off.
Oh, okay, that's what you were saying. All right.
So I guess three plantings, usually one, sometimes two.
Yeah.
Take what I
Now,
get.
will you be able to plant right in here, or no, you'll plant another area?
You could probably squeeze off another crop because you only need 100 days. And sunflowers, in our weather, well, last year I had some blooming in January.
Oh,
Just
wow.
Volunteers that
Yeah,
the cold
they came
didn't
up.
get. They were sheltered a little bit, so we didn't have killing frost until February. So.
Right, yeah. Wow.
So they're pretty hardy. They're very drought tolerant, thankfully, for this season. And they kind of determine themselves on the height, head size by spacing.
Yeah.
We try to do our best.
Yeah, I planted a couple of varieties that they got over 7 feet tall. So do you try to keep them the not quite that tall, or is it?
These just, I think the dirt here in this field, like I told you, they struggled a little bit coming up. I've got another field, and we can surely go to it. It's very close. They average 6.5 feet. Like the whole field is over your head.
Oh, wow. Okay, yeah.
So it's a good contrast to see these. These are fine to me because I don't fear them getting blown over by the wind as much as big tall ones. A hurricane comes through and they could be laid down.
Yeah.
Anything can happen.
All right. This is beautiful. What a blessing. Genius, I'm telling you.
Oh, no.
I've been thinking about that. I'm like, who just decides they're going to make their own gasoline, make their own fuel? Who just does that? Okay, we're going to go to another field?
Sure, yeah.
All right. This is amazing.
This is a nice field here. This is a good farm. A little taller here.
Yeah, I see some of the little renegades coming up.
Uh-huh. You always have some.
Wow.
This is a field that you can really tell the big word I had to look up, heliotrophism.
Uh-huh.
Where the flower turns and twists to follow the sun.
To follow the sun.
It does it very young on. These are kind of locked in place now. They're not going to be looking that way this afternoon. They're going to be facing the east. And one reason is to protect the head, the seed, from the afternoon sun. It gets so hot. They're actually looking away from the sun by then to protect the back of the...
Oh, wow.
Above 90, I'm crazy for growing them because above 95 degrees or so, they don't pollinate as well. And we have 105 last week trying to, begin pollination. So you can tell these have been really struggling. The leaves up 3 feet tall are dry and falling off. And that's from drought. They're just shedding the lower leaves to survive. And so we're interesting to see, though, where these tall trees block the morning sun. They don't really know which direction to look. They know east is not giving them what they need, so they'll turn and look that way. Right under there is a good way to see
Oh,
it.
I see them. Yeah, that's amazing. I'm just in awe of God's creation. It's just amazing. So when they're younger, they'll turn their heads to get the sun, but then once the seeds start forming, they don't turn in the afternoon to face the sun to protect the seed.
They're locked in. They'll be looking this way this afternoon. For the most part, you might have one or two of those down there. That,
you're going to have a few rebels.
Yep. And it's neat, too, to see how the stalk kind of twist and bend and have little variations in the joint in there where she's growing every few days, shot up, shot up, shot up.
Yeah, they grow really fast, I've discovered. Sometimes I thought I could almost watch them move because it was just so fast.
Yeah, they do, It seems like it takes forever to get going when
And
they're
then-
little bitty. And then they get about this tall and they look like little soldiers. And then,
Now, is there male and female plants? You referred to her as a she. Is that just friendly or affectionate?
Yes, it's friendly.
But is there, like some plants you have to have?
No,
Not with these?
not that I'm aware of.
Yeah. The bees are busy. They love it.
They are. This was a pretty field.
Yeah. This looks a little further along than the first field we went to.
This one's a little more uniform.
Yeah.
I see one here that's a good one to show you a drier head.
I'm coming. Whoop. No, it just grabbed my microphone. Oh, yeah.
And the head's even starting to
really
it's not
bend.
totally like a circular. You got it?
Yep. There we go. There we go. Yeah.
It's starting to, get curved around, but you can really tell there. Those
There's the
flowers are
seeds.
dried
Yeah.
down. They've been pollinated, and underneath it.
That is so cool. Let me get a picture too. Wow. There's all the seeds.
And it's not doing anything now, so they'll eventually, most of them fall off.
All of this will fall off on its own?
I wish it would. Some of it stays, and then that's something we have to clean out with the combine.
Yeah. That was my next question. You harvest this with combine, with the machine? Yeah.
Yep. When they dry down, they're going to be about, probably the heads will be hanging around in here. I'm going to come in, and they'll be totally dry.
And you just
Cut it off. It goes in the machine, and this is all we want, really. But to get these, I got to get a lot of stalk into this one. So you float your head up and down. There's a little. I can't kill it on TV, can I? I tried not to spray it. I've never sprayed an insecticide on it. I have to do stuff for weeds. To keep we can't have pig weeds and noxious seed. I can't have anything that would be bad for us. So, but these are pretty clean.
Yeah. This is great.
Sunflowers are good because they grow so fast, they'll shade out
Most everything.
most everything.
Yep. I noticed that in my flower bed too. So speaking of things that are happening right now, I've read that Ukraine grows about 80% of the sunflowers of the world.
Right.
And so what has that done? How has that affected you, if it has?
Yeah, it did almost immediately when people realized that they're not going to be able to get this oil exported from these countries, and they don't want it from Russia, and can't get it from Ukraine.
Yeah.
So we had calls from very large companies wanting metric tons of oil and containers of it. And most of those I try to push on to larger, commercial oil makers, but there have been some smaller that need for their skincare business.
Yeah.
There's a group out of Douglasville, Urban Eden, they started buying barrels of oil from us.
Oh, wow.
So they're very excited that they got Georgia source of oil, and we're excited that you know, here's an outlet that I can count on to use it in bulk.
That's great.
As you know, the shipping and supply issues. I can't get bottles when I want or as many as I want.
I know.
So.
That's
Yep, you know.
Yes, I know. That's been a nightmare for us as well.
I'm to the point now. I used to want to be consistent. I always have to look the same and not confuse people. But now I'm like, hey, if I can get, you may be getting it in a Ziploc bag. You know, whatever I can get it in.
I've got some 6-gallon buckets for you.
Yes.
But hey, we've had a problem there too. And it wasn't wheat. There wasn't a wheat shortage. There isn't a wheat shortage. Just we couldn't get buckets to put the wheat in. Right. Yeah, so
America's got itself in a big mess by outsourcing all of our manufacturing.
Yeah.
For the most part, we've become a service country, a service industry, and that's not smart.
No, it's not smart. They're not genius like you.
You keep using that word, and I don't think you know what that word means.
I do. I just think you were. Well, God put an idea in your heart, in your mind, and you acted on it. And that's, I think, a good message for us as believers. You know, God says that if we delight in him, he'll give us the desires of our heart. I think that doesn't just mean he gives us what we desire. He gives us the desire.
Yeah.
And then gives us the tools.
You have not because you ask not. Yeah.
So I still think you're genius. But anyway, we're just going to go with that. So that can be the title of the podcast, The Genius Clay Oliver.
No way. I insist that you don't.
I won't. But I just, that's all I could think about last night was, wow, what just an incredible plan and idea. An author I love to read, he calls them God ideas, not good ideas, God ideas. Mm-hmm. Yep. And when they're God ideas, and every one of us here have had God ideas that we've acted on, and it's been a blessing to other people. So come to the store. The station in Pitts, Georgia. At tell them the address.
110 7th Avenue West.
Yes, and you may pass it before your GPS tells you that you have. So be looking once you turn off.
Challenge yourself. Can you get lost in a one-horse town?
I had to call because it kept taking me in circles. So even though my rider said, hey, there's and I just kept going because my GPS didn't tell me to stop. So anyway, yes, 110
7th Avenue West.
7th Avenue West. Very good to see this beautiful sunflower fields. It's just absolutely amazing. And their gift shop is amazing too. Georgia grown, Georgia businesses. So what a blessing you've been to not just supply an incredibly nutritious, cold-pressed, no chemical oil, but your shop is bringing in local vendors and artisans to help them.
It's fun to get to support other people, and a lot of them are established already, but some of them, they're brand new, so it's like, wow.
This is a place.
Sold your first little thing here, you know, that's rewarding.
That is so great. Now, you grew up here in this area?
Yes, here
is this family farm that's been passed down to you, or?
This is not. This is a good family that we rent this farm from them.
Okay.
And our farm is closer to where the first field we stopped. I'm actually a little further west over the next hill.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So.
Do you now? How about your lovely wife, Valerie? We're going to get her mic'd up so we can.
Yeah,
talk
Valerie
to her.
Grew up about 7 miles away from here on the other side. So we didn't go to the same elementary school, but you know, we met in typing.
Ah, the typing class. Come on in here, Valerie. She's filming. Come on. So I'll never forget you called her you talked about Benny seed oil, how great it was. And she said, look how good she looks for 85 years old. So so that's great.
I'm wearing that one out.
His classic line.
Yes, that's his classic line. Well, I just thought it was brilliant. That's what I always tell people. Why do older women try to convince people they're 30? Why don't you say, I'm 90? And they go, whoa, you look great for 90. So anyway,
I got a much younger woman than
It's so special to meet you guys and just to see your ministry, your business. If it's like ours, which I think it is, I know it is.
Yeah.
It's more than a business.
People
it's
have
a ministry.
questions.
Yeah. What's the shelf life of your oil? So obviously, you press it and it holds till next year. So is it about a year, or will it go
what we tell
beyond?
people.
Yeah, a year, 18 months. I mean, the thing is, it's fresh, it has the flavor. So if you store it, and anything can oxidize over time. So it's like fresh bread. You go ahead and eat that. Don't waste it. So, but yeah, it does have a shelf life. Being high oleic, that gives it an even longer shelf life than normal sunflower oil. So.
Now you have other varieties of oils.
Yes.
I know the Benny seed is grown in South Carolina, right? And that's a heritage seed, right?
Right. Yep. It's a sesame native to Africa. The plant was and brought over by the slaves, grown and kind of made its way into the cuisine. Even Thomas Jefferson, back in like 1803 or so, he was like, this oil needs to be grown because it's the best salad oil. It was his favorite. And just kind of fell out of favor because of other various
seeds.
reasons. Yeah. But yeah, flavor profiles, really neat. I shipped some to this morning to Chef Sean Brock in Nashville, Tennessee.
Oh, wow.
He's really well known. So
yeah,
I like working with
I've been adding it to my lotion that I put on. I use an aloe vera lotion, so I've been adding it to that, and I just love the smoothness of it. It is, and it smells delicious too.
And it soaks in quickly.
Yeah,
so.
It's beautiful. I love it. I love it. Now, so that's grown in South Carolina, but the pecan oil that you
It's
have.
all local here.
And the pumpkin seed.
Peanuts are local. I'm set to pick up. We have a shelling plant 5 miles away, state of the art, that, I'm fortunate to get world-class peanuts.
Grown right here.
Bring them right over, shell, press it, make the oil. The pecans, about the same thing. Local farms that specialize in pecans, that's their thing. Pumpkin seed, I think right now it's coming out of Illinois. It's our climate, we just can't grow this type of pumpkin. So that's pretty local versus from overseas or China or something like that. And I can't remember what else. The okra, I just made an order for okra seed to press another run of it, and it'll be coming from Arizona.
Okay.
Believe it or not. That's where they grow it for seed.
Oh, wow. Okay.
They don't pick it to eat it. They grow it.
Are you pressing anything right now?
We are.
Ah, can we see that?
Yes.
All right. Y'all ready to go?
To the next exhibit.
Yes. Get out the gnats and the heat.
Yes.
Yay.
We'll come into the little oil shack.
All right. Oh, it's nice and cool.
Probably a mess.
So, it's about 60 days from planting till the flowers bloom,
Yes.
right? And then about how long did you say
30 to 40 days
to harvest the seeds? Then once the seeds are harvested, how soon do you press it?
Once the seed are harvested, we'll put them on a truck, wagon, something, get them back to the farm. Then they'll go into containers, totes. I put them into totes, set them on a pallet, and then I store those. Then as needed, or as soon as
possible.
we start cleaning them. I pull them out, I have a cleaner. I run it through, get any trash, debris, whatever the combine doesn't clean on its own. That's comes out, and then we bring it in here. We set it pallets down inside here and begin pressing.
Okay, all right. Do you have to refrigerate the seeds?
No, I mean, of course, it's best to keep them cool, and we've got them, like I said, in the containers, under shelters, so it's better than being out in the open sun. But we're in South Georgia, so it gets hot.
Yes. All right. Okay. It smells heavenly in here.
Got a mess of stuff. Yeah, got things
What you pressing?
Today in there we're doing sunflower. This is cashew. I got a request from a soaper for cashew oil. Some high dollar stuff they're doing.
Yeah.
This is Nigella.
Oh, that's the black.
The black seed. Yep. It's not open.
The black, is that the black cumin seed? Is that what that is? The Nigella, isn't that called? It's called black cumin, but it's not cumin.
Yes,
That's right.
yes,
Yes,
that's
it's
right.
still got some heat to
That's
it.
what we said. There's a difference, but
Yeah.
still called that.
The health benefits.
That's what
People buy this just to drink it.
Yes, they say it cures everything but dying.
Exactly.
Yes.
That's what
I think is it Ezekiel is mentioned or Isaiah? one?
Yes, the where it talks about the field and the cumin on. Yes.
It feels like It feels like aquarium gravel.
Yeah, wow.
Comes out looking like motor oil too.
It does.
So where does this come from? Do you know?
I've ordered this from a bulk supplier just because, yeah,
Just because it's
not
your
native
special,
here. Yeah.
special making this.
Yeah, cashews. I don't think I've ever seen a cashew tree.
Those grow in Tanzania. They have
Okay.
all over where we go. They have the cashew trees there, and they're just in the street vendors walking up and down with cashew nuts. So these are your sacks of sunflower seeds.
Yeah, I'm running out of room today. This is actually, we pelletize the sunflower seed after I'm pressing it. This is, here's the seeds.
Wow, those are dark.
Black oil sunflower.
But now that's still got the shell. Okay, so you press it with the shell on. Okay.
Yep, gonna press it, but I don't have a means to get the
that shell
off.
off. Okay.
There are no small scale
Shellers.
shellers.
Yeah.
There, besides foreign made things, I
Yeah.
don't trust them.
Yeah.
So we found a way to
Just press it.
deal with it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the only thing we do with the shell on. So these are pretty dry seed, unfortunately, for us this past season. For whatever reason, the oil yield is lower than normal. You know, we can tell by,
Yeah.
got so many pounds in this, it should yield so much oil. Well, some of it's even half
What it's been.
what it's been.
Is that because of dry weather? Or
Yeah,
you don't know?
pollination, over fertilization.
Who knows?
Too much
Yeah.
fertilizer is bad for sunflowers, and we may
Okay.
have last year at the wrong time put some to it, and then we got good rains.
Yeah, and then
You
that.
think it looks good, but it might not be the
Yeah.
best.
Yeah. Yeah. Now this is what? When did you harvest this?
This was harvested, I'm guessing September
Okay.
last year.
Last year.
So they were harvested, stored, and then now we're trying to run out. I think I'm good to make it through
Yeah.
till they come in.
Yeah.
But I only have like 40 acres growing right now.
Oh,
I'm waiting on these others to come in
Yeah.
to
Okay.
make the bulk of my year's crop. So I'm a little nervous about that.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
And somebody else is helping too, so I get real nervous.
Yeah. Yeah.
The thing is, the business grew. I kind of got out of farming so much, doing it, driving the tractor, planting the fields, and relying on my brother,
And others.
others to, they want to grow sunflowers for the birds and to have them for the family. So
Right.
it kind of works,
Yeah. Yeah.
I can supply them with these seed that I want for the oil, and then they can still enjoy the flowers. And
So yeah. Okay. So you just brought something up. So you save seed to plant, or do you purchase new seed each year?
I purchase seed.
Okay.
I have people who buy these to plant,
Okay.
but I'm just thinking, since it is a hybrid, it's not that costly for me.
Yeah.
I've planted them, they'll come up.
Yeah. Yeah.
I need the oil to be that great high oleic.
Oil. So you want to make, because a hybrid doesn't necessarily give you consistent
Right.
crops. Is that right? So
Right.
you want to make sure what you're getting.
Right. It'd
And
be-
have as few of those renegades as possible.
Second generation, right? You could have those,
Yeah.
have those with the multiple heads, which, or even a deer. You mentioned deer earlier. If the deer nips off the sunflower head, it'll grow back with multiple heads, right?
Yes.
So those are already a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks behind the other flowers,
Yes.
and then those little bitty ones that don't really form,
the seed.
almost looks like a black-eyed Susan
Yeah.
head.
Yes, because I grew sunflowers, like I said, for flower arrangements, and that was fine. I loved them to produce those other heads, but they were always smaller. Yeah. Yep.
Yep.
All right. That's beautiful, though.
Come check this out in here.
All right.
So as you see, we're pressing the
yes.
sunflower.
That's crazy. Okay, Mr. Genius.
What's happening is the seed, the commodity, whatever we do is coming down, gravity fed. There's a screw in here that's pushing it forward into this specifically designed end here that shears it down almost like a pencil eraser to start with. And then the way this one is designed, we pelletize it. It's easier to handle. The bulk, it gets bulky when it's not compressed, if you will.
Yeah.
It's fluffy and light. So this is easy to handle. And then we take this, put it in 50-pound bags, and sell it for cow feed. This is 28 to 30% protein.
Wow.
Yeah, we put it on pallets and sell it by the ton.
That's amazing.
Or you can get a bag if you want it, or your goat, or some guys feed deer with them, bait their deer.
How about chickens?
Oh yeah, chickens. When you crumble it down, it's a little large pieces here for a chicken, but I have a guy that comes up from Florida about once a month. He buys a ton. He says he's soaking it now and feeding it to his chickens. He said if you soak it, they'll eat it easier,
There you go.
30% protein though, so it's a pretty stout ration. Another thing we figured out is that it's also organic fertilizer. So if you want to use something besides synthetic chemical-based fertilizers, it's just your proteins, right?
Yeah.
So it blew my mind thinking about it again, how God created these things and there's life in itself, even in,
In the leftovers.
Yeah. This is like a 333 NPK. For instance, chicken manure, chicken litter. If you get good chicken litter, you're hoping to get like a 333 of balance in there. What was it? Okra. The okra meal is like a 411, so it's higher in nitrogen and lower in the.
So that's better for your corn or some of those.
So we sell it in little 25-pound bags for home gardeners or people that want to use some alternative fertilizer. I have a lady. She farms up in what's that? I want to say Milledgeville, but she's Jeffersonville, Rag and Frass Farm, and she buys about the bulk of my okra meal for her. She puts it on tomatoes when she plants the tomatoes.
Okay.
That's her nitrogen. She got it approved through her third-party organic certifier, and
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
yep, waste
Wow.
not, want not.
There you go. That's amazing. Just being a good steward of what God's given you, not wasting one single bit of anything.
The sunflower with the shell on it's going to leave that black pigment in the oil. It's going to be it almost looks like motor oil. You can tell as it's coming out there. It's kind of brown looking. Well, what we do is we let the oil settle and rack. Solids will come out, and then you can kind of tell.
Yeah,
here,
I can see there.
There's a layer here.
Okay, so you started this operation when? I know you said in 2008, but when did you really get going with the oil?
2008 is when I had the idea, and I just got the bug of making oil. How do you make oil? What can you do with this? So many uses for oil. And in 2012, I had saved up, we planted sunflowers in the spring. And then I didn't buy the first press until the fall, like September. I made some pretty good peanuts. Yeah. And I took some money and bought a press. And just that January, so we built the first little part of this. And so
wow.
2013, 2012.
10 years.
10 years
Look
now.
where you've come.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
One person did an article about us, and she said he makes it in a little building, like a little shack. So now I'm like,
so now you're the oil shack.
Come to the oil shack.
Yeah, come to the oil shack. That's okay.
I made a friend with a restaurant owner because his restaurant is called The Shack, named The Shack. And he's like, hey, I own The Shack in Stanton, Virginia. I want to try your oil.
Okay.
We've been friends ever
Shack
since.
to shack.
We sell his stuff in the store. He's a James Beard award-winning chef.
Oh, wow.
Good Food award-winning craft sauce maker. So
yeah,
I love his stuff.
Wow. So how much does the hopper there, about how many pounds or whatever, kilograms or whatever?
I'm guessing around 40 pounds or so.
In one hopper?
Yeah.
And that'll make how much oil? Do you have any idea? Well, you don't know. I mean, how much settles out and everything?
Give me a couple of gallons out of 40 pounds.
Wow.
Sunflower seed are 40% oil.
Yeah.
That little seed's 40% oil.
That's amazing.
I'm going to lose a little bit because of the shell.
Yeah.
Peanuts are about 50% oil. pecans are actually really high at about 75%. So they make a lot of oil. This is pretty slow. We have to run them all day. We run into the night. I have a guy that comes in at 5 and pulls about 8 hours. We actually have a fourth press that is not in operation right now, so it's waiting some repairs from the
Yeah.
the society. It's the world, man. I mean, I've been waiting for months.
Oh,
Just to get-
for parts, yes, yes. Our copy machine was down for about 2 months because they said we can't find a part. Okay.
Yep.
So these can run continuously, or do you need to shut them
Yeah,
down for a bit? And
You have to clean them periodically.
yeah,
Depending on the commodity. Some are a lot more prone to make a mess. They're oilier.
Yeah.
Peanuts and pecans are,
yeah.
you don't wear your clean clothes in here, because
Yeah.
you're going to get oil on everything.
All right.
So,
Well, they're bottling back there.
yes,
You want to go back there and see them bottling?
sure. I'm sure they want to.
You're making the infused.
Yes,
All right.
everybody's favorite. So, time consuming. Each spice goes in one at a time. You can't mix them because you can't get it right. So you got to do everything one at a time. They think I'm crazy because I have a certain way I want the spices to go in. I like the red on the bottom and then the green towards the top. Some things, if you put the rosemary in first, it's going to hang up there and drop a wad down in the bottom.
Yeah. So you're talking about the 8, because you have 8 spices, right? Herbs and spices that go in. So you put each one in one at a time? Wow.
Way it's consistent.
That's right. Now what's in these?
Different oils. It's pecan, it's peanut, pumpkin seed oil. See, we deal with allergens. Okay,
Yes.
some of them severe, high-ranking allergens. All tree nuts are going to be on that list, and everybody knows peanuts are that way. And some people, believe it or not, are allergic to sunflowers.
Yeah.
So one thing we have to do is keep everything labeled. Everything's got to be, one thing at a time. No
Yeah.
cross-contamination. Those issues. Clean between
Presses.
each press.
Yep, I was about to
know.
ask you that a few minutes ago. Yeah.
The good thing about my machines is they're small enough to break down.
And clean.
Every part that touches the commodity, we can put soap and water on, sanitize it. So
That's good.
we pump it in, and then, I looked at bottling machines, but again, you'd have to designate one thing
Yeah, for that machine.
because you can't. I
Break
went
it.
to breweries and things, and I was like, wow, look, but it's all, they don't care if a little this goes in with that, or,
Yeah.
they can flush it, but, I can't have any peanut oil even
Yeah.
on the equipment, so that's
yeah,
why.
or in the room, or if it's a big.
It's best just for us, and for
Yeah.
me, keep it small and
Yeah.
easy to contain,
It
clean.
works. Yeah.
I thought getting big vats, but you have sedimentation and even big things, and maybe you can't get in and clean those things then,
Yes. Yes.
If I hold
Yeah.
this big in the top, you can't get your arm in there, or
Yes.
these are easy to
Yeah.
work with.
So does that get filtered at all, the oil, or you just let it settle?
It's gonna settle, I'll paper filter it, and then I'm gonna run it through the centrifuge.
Oh, okay. Wow. Now what does the centrifuge do?
So the centrifuge, it's basically spinning at a very high rate of speed. Heavier things stick,
Go to the
settle, just like the old gravitron we used to
Yeah.
ride. When you stuck,
Yeah.
your jewelry might float up or something. Okay,
Yeah.
well the oil's lighter than any solids or water, and so therefore it's going to spin that out. I mainly have the black from the shell, the
the
pigment.
shell.
It's like you don't see it here, but it's enough in it that this thing spins down to 1 micron, so it gets
wow.
really, really fine.
Yeah.
And then it goes in a tank and pull out as needed.
Okay. So presses, settles, then you draw that off and centrifuge, and then before you bottle.
Yeah, there may be piece
Yeah.
of shell or something that fell
gets
in.
through,
So
yeah.
we paper filter it so it doesn't go through here. And then,
Oh, okay. All right.
Yep. And the waxes that are sometimes in the oil. The shell has wax in it to protect the seed from moisture.
Yes.
So that's soluble in the oil. And then it can form back and look, unpleasant, unsightly in the glass. So we take some means to remove the oil, the wax.
The wax, yeah.
That's what I need to find a use for it. The
wax.
sludge and the wax.
Well,
It's the stuff in the bottom of the barrel.
yeah, yeah.
So what I do is combine all that, capture all the oil I can, and then that is the one thing I don't have a home for.
What is that?
You see it?
That
This-
sediment.
She done got so hungry she eating sunflower pellets.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so you can see a layer about an inch.
Of some
2
of the
inches
oil
of
that's
oil.
risen up, but the most of it is the sludge.
That'd be 700 pounds of something.
Something.
It's a little too much fat to feed the sunflower to say a hog.
Yeah.
It's too much. Now I do have, like, you can see some in there, pecan and peanut, the butters, the fines. I have a home for that, and we can consume it. I can't sell it because it's cold pressed. It doesn't get hot enough.
Yeah.
But that's
Yeah.
really the waste, and that's a good example of it right there.
Okay.
So that'd be about 40 pounds of pure raw peanut butter.
Oh, wow.
This is probably this full of pure pecan butter.
But you can't sell it
For
to
human
human
consumption.
consumption.
Now, could animals,
It's too high fat.
well, like dogs, treats and things, but the animal market's a little more difficult to get in than human, believe it or not.
Isn't that interesting?
Testing and all that you have to do for pets.
Wow. That's kind of interesting.
Yep. So, yeah, that's something we're still figuring. I don't want to waste it, and I really
Right.
can't afford to just dump it. So
Right.
at a landfill. So figure
Yeah.
something out.
Yeah. Okra
Anybody
flour.
looking for 25 pounds of okra flour?
Do you bake with it? What do you do with it?
This is the one flour I don't know.
Yeah.
We have some people that use it. One restaurant was wanting to make a miso.
Yeah.
It's real tacky and sticky.
Yeah.
The okra does.
Oh, yeah. So the
I
seed's
mean-
going to too.
Yep.
Of course, buckwheat gets that way. I mean,
Exfoliating.
when you make something out of buckwheat flour, it's real stringy. It's real gelatinous, kind of. It's pretty.
Yeah, here's pecan for comparison in color.
So how do you do the flour? When you press the oil out, you have the leftover.
So I take this and I have a little mill over here in one of the buildings. It's a little 5-horse flour mill, and grind until it gets powder.
But now, I mean, this is the whole pecan before you press
Defatted.
Defatted.
So it's pecan protein powder.
Wow. That's interesting.
This is about 30% protein. I can't remember exactly. 30%. The peanut is 50% protein, and pumpkin, if I have some of it, which is the neat.
Yeah, which I want to take some home and work with it a little bit and think about carrying it. And I meant to do it when y'all came up. Is that the pumpkin?
So it's green, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Make green cookies, green pancakes.
That's crazy.
60% protein.
Wow.
Pumpkin's super
You would
food.
think your keto lovers would.
Here we are.
There you are. Wow.
Here's an example of something. wax in the okra.
Oh, yeah.
That's what Valerie would make her little eye cream with.
And so that just settled out. It didn't get fully out of there. Okay. So these are gift boxes.
Mm-hmm.
Can I open one?
Sure, yeah.
Show. Let's see what's in here. Oh, I don't want to. Is it sealed or just pulls?
No, it's just
Oh, there we go. It's just.
tabs.
Oh, wow. So here's a nice gift box. Pecan oil, green peanut oil, and infused sunflower seed oil.
And we have with the infused and then with the regular, depending on.
Which
preference,
you want.
yeah.
I think that recipe for the slaw, the Asian slaw with the green peanut oil, that was a favorite when y'all came up for class. That was delicious. Because some people are like, what do you do with green peanut oil? But it was delicious. Oh, look at the little bottles. I love the little bottles. Little
Minis.
samplers.
Yeah.
Oh, that wouldn't last me a day.
Started out as,
But it's cute.
if a chef needs something, they want to try it. I don't want to give them a whole bottle or.
Yeah.
This is easier to ship 2 or 3 or 4. Or,
Little stocking stuffers.
Yep. A lot of people give them like little gift baskets.
Yeah. Yeah. So I know Deborah was asking Valerie, you ever brought bees in to get, I mean, I saw all the bees, so do they make honey somewhere? Or
You
do
know,
they?
I would think you would need it. So far, we haven't. And when I ask beekeepers, they're like, I'm not really interested in moving for the short period of time
That they're-
there. And we have bees that are hives around, and I know they're traveling to them, but as far as putting them right down on it, I've not.
Yeah, to get sunflower
Right,
seed honey?
what I was like, and they're like, sunflower honey's not as good as you think.
Okay.
Would I want that?
That would be another aspect of this.
Maybe I
operation.
just got the wrong guys on that.
Well, I don't know. Different honeys have different flavors, and there's some that I know, like our bakery, we would get loads from Big, and every now and then it would be like, this makes the bread taste really bad.
How about it?
Yeah, it's just kind of strange. So, look at you, hard at work. I'm gonna get you. Look at you. This is Valerie.
It's my spot when I'm
This is your spot. How often is the store open? Is it year round? Do you keep it somebody up there
we're
working
open Monday through Saturday.
it all year?
Yes.
That's amazing.
Or we have the past 2 years.
Yeah.
So,
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
yeah.
Do you have enough traffic to come to it? I mean, do people turn off the beaten path, or is it mostly locals?
Days you do, and some days it's a little slower.
Well,
than
hey,
others.
that's we are too, because we're definitely a destination location as well. So,
Yeah. Town of 300, very rural community, and we're selling high-end
yeah.
items. It's a little risky, but be surprised at people that come and doors, avenues that got opened. We joined a group called Harvest Host, where anyone who owns an RV and is a member of this club can come stay overnight at the farm. All they have to do is shop with us, and that's something. If you got a spot that you could put one RV or a camper, then they come in, and the requirement I think is $25, but
Right.
gosh, most of them are. And some of them are repeat. Now they're our friends. They send other visitors our way. So that's kind of like a little,
Made a good little network.
it's growing.
There.
And they say like, I never would have driven 15 miles off the interstate if not for this club I'm in. And I was like, well, okay, you made it.
Yeah. Yeah. Y'all have just been such a joy to meet, and
Thank you, Sue.
I just love it. Every time we get in the car, I'm like, I just love them. They're so sweet.
We love y'all.
All right. Well, we're ready to do some shopping at the store, don't you think?
Yay.
Yeah. I got to go home with some of that. All right. So this is where it's happening in Pitts, Georgia.
It's about all that's happening in Pitts, yeah.
This is called the station. When did you open your store here?
It's been a little over 2 years now.
Okay.
We've had this open.
This is great. This
Took
is
us
so
a year or so to turn it around, clean it up. It's a 1965 model gas station.
Oh, I love
Service
it.
station, had a jack in the floor, washout pit, pumps out front. So
Oh,
we had
my
to
goodness.
totally gut it, clean it, paint it.
You're amazing.
Here we are.
I'm telling you, you're amazing. And what a blessing, local.
Yes. Get to support a lot of local makers.
This is, yeah.
Some of them, like I said before, well established. Some of them are just starting out, so it gives them a little place
Yeah.
to test their feet.
From jewelry to honey to veggies, sauces, spices. This is amazing. Art. Wow. I love it. Puppies. What a blessing you are to so many, I know. So, come on, Valerie, get in here. Come on. I just want to thank y'all for having us up today, being a part of our podcast, and just encouraging. It's just encouraging so many people in so many ways to follow the idea God puts in your heart, and
Yeah.
look where it takes you.
Yeah.
Don't be ashamed. Don't be afraid. Step
Don't be
out
afraid,
in faith.
yeah. And then acknowledge Him.
Yeah, I'm preaching to myself here. But what a blessing it's been. I've learned so much. I've learned about worms. I've learned about sunflowers. I've learned about oil and all kinds of things.
Yeah.
You're a genius.
You keep saying that word.
Is he?
Sometimes.
Sometimes. There you go. Good answer. Good answer. But thank you both. And thank you for just having us and showing us around and spending
You're
your day, your morning with us.
You're
Before it
welcome.
got too hot.
Enjoyed it.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And if y'all should come to Pitts, Georgia, come off the road, take a break here with Valerie and Clay Oliver at the station.
Excellent. Okay.
All righty. Oh, all right, now I'm going to shop.
Thanks. You done right.
Yeah.